date palm production. I was the last deputy governor in Jigawa State. I just came to the Senate last year, and I know that we had some very active collaboration, but I've never come across any of your officers. What is happening is that there's a federal date palm research institute in Jigawa State that itself is being castigated for doing next to nothing. It was cited there because of the fact that we had a very large plantation of date palms that are growing wild. But in the 10 or 15 years that they were there, they haven't really added anything. So I'm really surprised that you are now saying that you are collaborating. Secondly,
thank you very much.
No, I haven't finished. My main question to you is the fact that you are supposed to be developing raw materials, I think has a lot to say in terms of your core mandate, whether it's specifically mentioned in your act or not. You are getting funding from import tariffs. So that means that the whole essence is for you to focus on import substitution so that we can save foreign exchange. I don't want to blame you for what has happened in the last 30 years since you set up. Look at some figures here. If you take out petroleum, which is our largest import, we are importing drugs and drug-related items as of June last year to the tune of $958 million. We are importing vehicles to the tune of $809 million. We are importing sugar, which we can grow locally, to the tune of $406 million. Tires, which we can also use our raw plantations to supplement, to the tune of $309 million. You know, this and wheat, which is the biggest, is $1.09 billion. Some time ago, we were talking about cassava bread substitution. What have you done from the money you are collecting from the tariff on this importation to ensure over the years that we are slowly reducing this import bill so that we can become self-sufficient and conserve our foreign exchange? There is no direct impact on this thing, and each and every one of these things that I mentioned here has been proved to grow in Nigeria. So let us please, I think you should be a bit specific in terms of the achievement and what you have been doing and the kind of policy formulation you have been able to influence on the federal government. There is no point collecting import, because otherwise we now run into the issue of maybe you don't want to do that, because if you do it, it will now reduce your subvention. Your essence is to reduce these imports completely. If you do that, you have succeeded, and then maybe you can focus on something else. But for us to sit down year after year and watch these things growing, it's ridiculous. Even in petroleum, you just mentioned plastics now. What have we done to ensure that your research has gone into ensuring that the petroleum industry has side industries that produce all these plastics that we're importing? Because it is our biggest import to date. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this point, I think I'll just re-echo what my colleagues have said. Some of us are in multiple committees. I happen to serve in 9 committees. And the trend usually when we request for this kind of information is that the ministers actually come with their permanent secretaries. So that you find that when there is issues of policy, the minister addresses it. And sometimes he refers to his permanent secretary for issues that relate to implementation and finances. So I think I'll also agree that maybe we give the minister another date to appear with his full team so that we can take care of this thing once and for all instead of going back and forth. Thank you.